All right, family, welcome to a Q&A. Hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. Going to dive right in here and start to answer some of the great questions in Discord. Let's begin. Boom, boom, boom. Mr. Money starting us off here. So first question, guys. What is my chart setup, specifically my Thinkorswim setup? So let's dig right in here. So personally, guys, this is how my Thinkorswim is set up. I have my main screen here. Obviously, we can start on the side, have my main watch list, the market at the top, and then the leaders, and then fill in with a little bullshit. I have my watch list sector team, which covers a lot of the sectors we follow: tech, finance, energy, semis, etc. So I can always see, where's money going. You flip this open during the day, you see XLF and XLE are green. All right, you get some data from there. Also, guys, right below that on my setup, I do have live news for any ticker that I'm on. I personally have this attached right now to my watch list. So you can see here the two. So my main screen right here, guys, is always whatever name I click on, and then it gives me the news. So you always get that updated news. And then underneath that, family, I have a personal options watch list, which I paste options on that I'm watching. I watch their bid, ask, etc., their volume, to try to get a sense of what premium's doing. That's how the side of my screen is set up. And then on all my main screens, guys, as you know, I personally like the 15-minute chart and the 1-minute chart because I'm a day trader and I also read tape. So for all names you see, guys, I'll always have the 15 up and the minute up. So right here would usually be Apple. All right, so we'd have Apple 15-minute, Apple 1-minute. For here, I have NVIDIA 15-minute, right, and the 1-minute. So I can attack from both time frames. In the middle, guys, the way I have it structured, I always have the tape up. And then again, on my main screen here, I always have the market, ES, which I personally, guys, like to use on a 5-minute time frame. It removes a little bit of the fluff. I'm already watching a ton of shit on the 1-minute. So the ES5 is really the best I've found. And again, I always keep this on my main chart right at the bottom left, just so I know what's going on. I do have 2 other screens, family, so I'm going to cover what's on both of those. Let me pull these up. So on my right screen, family, again, just going to drag it in here. It's the same shit, right? Netflix 15, you get a 1-minute. 15, 1-minute. And then what's a little different on this screen is I have my 2 internals at the bottom. So I'll have my tick going here during the day. And again, you got to clean this stuff up, guys, so it'll look different. But I have my 1-minute tick to watch internals. And then right next to it, guys, I have my 1-minute ADD. So personally, for me, this is my right monitor. Have my favorite names in the middle, and then a few others that I'm watching on the right screen, along with internals right here at the bottom. And then again, guys, just whatever name I have on here, I throw on the tape for one of them. Depending which name I'm attacking, these are usually, not my main setups. I throw the tape in. So for example, on Friday, I had Facebook up on the screen and the Facebook tape. So that's my other screen is, family. And then my last screen is pretty much the same shit. Let's pull it up. Right, since I already have internals, guys, since I already have the market up, I use my left monitor to kind of, fill out my focus list. Right, so Google, got a 1-minute chart, it should be Google. I usually watch a random name down below, family. Since again, I have the market on the other screen, I usually watch, an Amazon, something that's a good gauge, but I don't really plan to trade. So for example, you can put TLT in there, you can put Amazon for tech, whatever it might be. And then again, guys, I like the 15-minute and the 1-minute with the tape. So that's personally how my Thinkorswim is set up. And yeah, any other questions on that? Let me know, family. But that's my war setup. That's how I like to trade. What do you look for before entering your trade? So the main thing, family, is you want to have your trades planned, right? We need to know, what playbook setup is this? What catalyst am I trading off of? And when should I trade it? Like you guys know, I focus on trigger levels. I focus on following the money, focusing on, team moves. So for me, what do I look for before entering a trade? I look for all of my plan to line up, right? I look for those stars to align. So for example, if I'm looking to trade an Apple hourly squeeze, I'm looking for tech to be strong. I'm looking for Apple to be strong. I'm looking for it to have a good 15-minute volume. Another thing I really like, right? I'm looking for very liquid options. Make sure I'm buying something that's realistic. And again, the market's strong. I know my setup. If it's an Apple hourly squeeze, I already know my trigger. I already know my, target. And then I just wait. So again, guys, we all trade differently. We all have a different style. But what you want to look for before you enter a trade is always going to be different, but you need to have it. So it really becomes a checklist. So for me, it's really just checking off those main things. One, I've pre-planned the setup. I've pre-planned the key levels, the trigger levels, the breakouts, if this, then that. And then guys, I just apply context, right? If we, gap up, if we start ripping, if ADD is ripping, right? I'm looking for all those things to make sure it's supportive of my trade, and then we go for it. So that's kind of, just a few things, guys, I look for, and you really don't want to overthink shit. When you plan good setups, you have A++, and you wait for catalysts, you'll know when it's time to get in. And if you are hesitant, you probably didn't trade the plan and plan the trade enough, so you probably shouldn't take it. Great question there. Question 3, what should be the main screen while trading? So that was kind of a variation of question 1, family. So again, my main screen, I have my focus list, I have my market, and then I have internals. And then I have, either, 1 or 2 sectors. I usually don't have them all up because I just flip to my watch list, right? See how they're going. But yeah, guys, your main focus should always be on the market. You need to know what's going on in the market. And then depending what you're trading, you should have a brother up. But if we're trading NVIDIA, have AMD up on a screen. And then obviously, guys, you want to, watch the S&P, you want to watch the internals, whatever your, style might be. But for me, I already showed you guys kind of, what my main screens look like. Question 4, how do you get in and out quickly? A scalp setup. So to scalp, guys, right? Well, I'm going to be making a big, detailed video on how to scalp, kind of the mindset behind it, what you should be looking for. But to, technically get in and out of these setups, right? We can start with execution. When you're following momentum, when you're waiting for these, quick moves to unfold, oftentimes, depending the name, it can be hard to get filled. So depending the name, guys, if I'm trying to get in and get out quickly, I personally usually hit the ask, right? So we can pull up a quick chain here. All right, guys, if we're going to go trade the Googles, again, we got the mid and we got the ask. So again, we got the spread. This is a bit of a, exaggerated spread here for an example, but if I wanted to get right in Google team, and I tried at 1560 and I didn't get filled, if the setup's working, if I know I can make more money, and again, I would never pay, 1760 when the mid is 1560. So let's just use a better example here. Like a great example team would be on Apple, right? A great name to scalp, a very tight spread. And again, when you're going for these quick moves, you're often doing it when momentum is striking. So you do want to make sure you get filled and you're, shooting that shot properly to make sure you don't miss it. So in a name like Apple Team, where it is a 10-cent to 5-cent spread, when this thing is moving, often it gets so tight that it's a 5-cent spread that the mid will technically be the bid. Right? When this is moving, that'll be 575 and this will be 580. So you can hit the bid as much as you want, but they're not going to take it. So the way I get in family is if I believe in the setup, if I'm timing it properly, I'm okay paying fucking 5 more cents. So, I just quickly hit it and then boom, get filled, right? As simple as that. So make sure I answer that question properly. So yeah, guys, again, I'm going to make a full scalping video of, how to truly get in and out. I'll back test a few examples, but in regards to execution, if you can't get filled team, you always want to hit the ask. Just make sure the spread's not stupid. You don't want to overpay for no reason. But if a quick scalp, you're looking for 40 cents on a contract, it's okay overpaying by 5 cents. Just be careful. And again, I always try to get filled at mid first. If I don't and it's moving, get the fuck in, man. Hit that ask. How do you fix your target plan? So personally, whenever I trade, guys, as you see, I have zones. So I usually have, 1, 2, or 3 targets, depending how far this name can technically go. And so the way, the way I trade and the way I plan things is it's already pre-planned. So, I'm not really going in and fixing my targets. So for example, Google the other day, it was a great example here. We had a few targets, right? And so again, mid-trade, guys, you don't want to be fixing shit. You don't want to be changing your targets, changing your key levels. Plan the trade the plan. If you're figuring out in the go, man, you're going to get destroyed most of the time. So a great example here on Google, let's pull up the drawing set we had, right? This was the zone we had coming into Friday team. First target was a breakthrough this zone, getting to 1517. We smashed it, right? At every target, I usually trim, I take profit, et cetera, et cetera. You always do something. And then again, I have other targets where if you guys watch my zone videos, you'll know how I trade. If this, then that. If it breaks 1505 and it breaks 1509, it should go to 1517. From there, it can fall all the way back down. But again, how do you fix your targets? You don't. My next target is 1525. If it holds and it continues, I expect 1525. And so you really, guys, again, the importance of planning your trades, planning your key levels, planning what you'll do with them is how you want to go about it. You never want to come in here, fix these mid trade, because again, it's going to mess you up. And so when you plan it properly, you build a good zone, you're just following it, right? If this, then that, and that's what makes trading easy. It broke, it hits at 1570, we locked in for 600%. And then we wait. If it keeps going, great, 1525. If not, team, again, if it doesn't continue, it can fall back down. And that's exactly what happened. So you want to pre-plan your targets, team. You want to, mark up your zones above and below. So again, if it hits here and stops, right, that's one target. If it keeps going, that's the next target. If it breaks that, next target, next target. So again, plan your trades, family. How do you identify the trend reversal? Great question. So trends, guys, obviously happen on multiple time frames. We're day traders, so often, an intraday trend reversal can be a great opportunity. But there's also big picture trend reversals. So we'll just start with big picture here, and then we'll lead into a great example of, intraday trend reversals. So, as you guys know, a few of the bigger picture things I look at on a daily chart in regards to trend reversals are the moving averages, right? Typically, family, whenever we are holding above a few of my favorites, the 15 and the 21, we're bullish, right? That's the trend change. You can see we had our sell-off here. Let's pull out, let's get a year here. Right, guys, look a year ago. We're fine and dandy. We keep holding all these things. So for me, guys, the trend never changed on Apple until it starts to trade below these things. And then you can see it becomes rejection until the day we break above them. And then we hold, right? We hold, and we keep pushing fucking higher. We had a slip here, which looked like a potential trend reversal, and then she worked her ass up quickly. So that's one example, guys, of how I use the moving averages to be a trend reversal. When we're above them, bullish, right? We're looking for the retracement. We're looking for the dip to see if that trend holds, and then we go from there. If as long as it's above it, we can expect more climb, just like the market, family. Let's clear this up. Right, we've been watching it here for a potential trend reversal. Just one of the things we use are these two moving averages. Ever since it got through that fucky patch, it's been holding, right? It went up, it's been holding. So like I've been telling you guys, we're in no rush to short this market because overall, the trend is still very strong. So that's just one example, guys, of moving averages. You can see, right? We're usually very merry way, and then we're under them. As soon as we broke above them, guys, and held, we started a nice little journey. Yes, we can take a dip below it, and that's when your warning sign is. The longer we stay below that, the longer the trend can truly change. And as you can see, guys, we don't stay under there long. We dumped through it and quickly got back up, fought our way. Next big trend are these other moving averages. We break those, oh my. But we held, we got back to the fast track ones, and we're just fast tracking away. So that's one example, guys, with the moving averages. And then another big picture thing I like to use is daily clouds. So as you can see, trend reversal. COVID's fine, right? COVID comes, boom, we break cloud. When do we bottom? Right, we bottomed, but the trend change on a big picture happens when we flip through that cloud. There's so many examples here, team, right? Apple, monster. Trend has changed. So keeping it simple, go watch the cloud video, but above the cloud, bullish. Under the cloud, bearish. Right, as soon as we start to crack, team, right, then we start to reject, and then we start to go lower. As soon as this thing cleared it, it's been fucking goodbye, right? Fly time. So really, guys, these are very big picture trends. You can use them on a weekly chart. You can use them on daily charts. And you can also use them on 4-hour charts. ES was a wonderful example of how we quickly called the bottom before anybody else when COVID hit. And again, 4 hour is one of my personal favorites. Got to get more time here for COVID. Here we are. So again, the 4 hour team, you can kind of compare these two, right? You take the 4 hour and you take the daily. Those are really the two bigger picture time frames where you can get a good sense of trend change. So again, we were below the daily, right? We break the 4 hour, we stuff the 4 hour, the show continues, show continues, show continues. We were very ahead of the bottom as a team because of the 4 hour cloud. We broke the 4 hour cloud, guys, on what? Right, like March, right? We'll call it March, early April. On the daily, right, we hadn't broken it yet. Still in March here, early April, we had started at bottom and working our way up. So where do we get that little edge? Flip into the 4 hour. Right around here, guys, we're still working our way up. However, that big picture 4 hour, let's go back. Right, had already broken team and then held. And then on delay, we get a little slip quickly above it, little slip quickly above it. And then we keep proceeding, So that's another way, guys, of how I just kind of quickly identify, the bigger picture trend reversals. Above cloud bullish, below cloud bearish. And then that leads us, family, into intraday. So those are kind of the, two main ways I like to gauge trend is just those moving averages. Are we above them? When we retrace, are we holding? Or are we, going way too low, signifying a trend reversal? What we've been seeing recently is just a good retracements and then pick back up. And that's how you know the trend continues and you can expect things to go higher. On an intraday basis, family, I personally like the clouds, again, to retrend. So let me show you a great example here. What I really like to use, guys, is the 1 minute and the 5 minute when it comes to trend reversals. So again, very simple here. Above the 1 minute cloud is bullish. Below it is bearish. NVIDIA, great example here, which we played it. Opens above the 1 minute cloud. Great. We can run. We break our all-time high. We crush it all the way to 460. That's our target, right? It hits it. And then what's it do? It fails to go higher. Then we see, is it going to hold up? Another thing I also like is a VWAP. So I personally combine the two. We're above VWAP. We're above cloud bullish. Runner. As soon as it starts to fall back below VWAP, guys, fall into this cloud and then out of this cloud, right? Now we're on the other side and we're below VWAP. To me, that's the trend change. And as you can see, continue to just fall lower, reject this cloud, fall lower, reject this cloud, and sell off all day. When did it finally bottom? When it broke the 1 minute cloud and then started to push back up. But you can see there, guys, right? Plain NVIDIA long, hit target. Right? We will add more to 460. Let's see what happens. Oop, tries, huge fail. All right, guys, we're breaking 1 minute cloud. All right, we're under 1 minute cloud. This trade is over. We break that prior all-time high. It's really over. And then boom, right? Stuffs the cloud, and then finally breaks it, guys, after a huge bottom. So there's just another example, guys, of a 1 minute cloud on, for that trend change. Another cloud I really like is the 5 minute. You can see, guys, it's a little bit of a bigger picture. As soon as we broke below that sucker, we had zero drawdown, and then we just died. So again, we open above it, we hold it, we push. Let's look for some other examples here. Apple up and below the 5 minute cloud team. That's why it was my top short on Friday. This is the name I hit when we finally saw everything roll over. Because again, it opened below it and rejected. It tried and rejected. It tried again and rejected. This sucker couldn't even break pre-market high, never mind 5 minute cloud. So there's a great tool, guys, to, get a sense of what's the trend looking like from a, intraday perspective. And again, big picture, Apple's strong as fuck. But every day is unique. So this sucker's under the cloud. We're expecting it to start to retrace, towards point of control. And that's exactly, what we traded. 5 minute cloud, guys, on ES is also tremendous. I know you see me talk about this, all the time. Right, Friday was a little bit sloppy, but we opened above it and we just kept holding it. And then we finally broke below it, rejected that top and had our, little sell off here, stuffed it again, and then finally broke through it and ripped into close. Wasn't the best day, guys, but the 5 minute is usually one of the best time frames for the cloud. All right, so we can find another great example here. Here's a great example. All right, what was this? Doesn't even matter. We open below the cloud, right, guys? That morning, and to open, we push into it, right? We push into it. So now we're holding, we break out, we fall. As long as we hold that cloud team, we can continue. I've found this to be a very strong intraday trend gauge. Now, again, you don't want to just trade based on the cloud. You want to use it to read information. So again, it's telling me, yeah, we took a nice dump here, but it ain't a real dump unless we break here. You can see we held it, and then we found our feet again. So that's another example, guys, of the cloud. Hope that answers that question. John, after 1 week, have some things I need to work on. Question, how do you handle analysis paralysis? I'm very risk averse and like to analyze and understand before leaping, finding that I keep missing entries and exits. What are things to do to help build confidence in entries and exits? Awesome question, John. So let's break this down a bit. One, how do you handle analysis paralysis? What that is, guys, is, you just have, you struggle to pull the trigger, right? You're analyzing too much. You get to the point where you truly can't get in. You can't make that decision. And my best advice on that, John, and for everybody, is to keep it simple. As a new trader, guys, there's so much information. There's so many setups, there's so many names on a daily basis that paralysis is very easy to have, right? You come into the morning watching 6 names and they all start to look good. Well, you're like, what the fuck am I going to do? Right? Am I going to get in all of them? No. And then you struggle to pick one and then you miss them all. I've been there. I know a lot of people have been there. It's a big issue us traders face. And honestly, the best way to combat this team, the way I found success, is just to laser fucking focus on 1 or 2 setups, right? You accept that you will not catch every setup, nor do you deserve to as a young trader, right? As a new trader. You need 1 or 2 guys a week. You need 1 or 2, 5 amazing setups a month to truly change your life and move your trading career forward. So my best advice on a day-to-day basis is have your focus list and then narrow it down based on the best, right? What is the best? And how do you decide the best team? You stack fucking catalysts, right? What are catalysts? News, upgrades, technical setups, volume, options, etc. Facebook, for example, coming into Friday team. That is one of the top setups. Breaking news, destroyed all-time high, had a massive day the day before, massive volume on the chain. And guess what? It opened and it fucking exploded. So really, you just need to narrow it down, man, right? We work hard, we're extremely focused, we break this shit down. But again, you don't want to break down 6 names and then be sitting here ready to attack them all. None of us are that good. So my best advice is do yourself the favor in the beginning of just narrowing it down to 1 or 2 names that you're truly comfortable trading, right? If Shop looks good and Facebook looks good and you're a new trader, fuck Shopify. Who cares what happens? It's not your job, right? You might even be a little uncomfortable. Facebook, that's an amazing name, amazing setup, very cheap. Put all of your attention into that. And that's how you'll, slowly but surely start to handle that analysis paralysis because you'll have less decisions to make. Like we talked about earlier in this video, plan the trade and trade the plan. When you only have 1 or 2 plans, guys, there's no excuse not to pull the trigger. So that's my best advice to handle that analysis paralysis. It's just less is more, team. Less is more. Find the few names you really like, find the few names that you can afford, and then start to fucking master them. Right? You could literally, guys, just trade, pick a name, Apple. You could just trade Apple, right? You're not going to trade it every day, but you're sure as fuck going to know when to trade it, right? You're going to be like, oh, my baby's setting up. Oh, Apple's been in an hourly squeeze for 3 days, right? Ooh, it's looking good this morning. Ooh, it got upgraded, right? Dominate a few names, guys. And from there, it'll help you build confidence, right? A few ways to build confidence are 1, watch the team, right? We prep hard together and then we destroy it. Whether you're doing that or not, family, it should motivate you because again, we're not doing anything fancy. We lay it out in prep and then we narrow down on a few and we fucking attack. So again, trust the process, trust the team, allow that to help you build confidence. And then my best advice to build confidence is focus on those few setups, guys, and then plan the trade and do yourself a favor and just jump in the pool. The biggest thing, guys, is, just that fear of getting in, that fear of, losing money, that fear of being wrong. And that's all just all just completely wrong, right? You should be afraid that like, damn, I'm working so hard and I don't even press this button. Like, fuck, I'm afraid of what happens if I keep doing that. Never mind, I'm afraid to lose this money. So learn to trust yourself, guys. Give yourself the chance to, deserve the success we all deserve, right? We work fucking hard every day, every night. Do yourself a favor, show up, don't overthink it, prep hard, and take those shots, man. And you'll build the confidence and just know you're going to be an amazing trader, all of us. But you got to put in the time, you got to take the shots, you got to push through these little mental barriers. So hope that answers that question, family. Are you risk averse and like to analyze and understand before leaping in? Absolutely. You should never leap into something you don't understand. So again, guys, leading back to my main point from beginning, plan the fucking trade. What am I going to buy? What option am I going to buy? When am I going to buy it? What price range am I looking for? How much am I willing to risk? How much am I truly okay losing? When am I going to cut it? When am I going to take profit? You got that shit lined up, family. You act like a fucking robot when the bell rings. Google breaking, buying 1530s, hit my target, locking, never broke more, not adding, right? It's, I won't say simple, team, but it's simple when you break it down. Become a systematic trader. And when you have a strong system, which we have, when you have a strong support team, which we have, you're going to slowly build confidence. But you're only going to build confidence if you follow through on what you tell yourself you're going to do, right? We cannot lie to ourselves. We will never build confidence. If you wake up, I'm going to trade Apple today. It's in an hourly fucking squeeze. The 440s have volume. If it breaks, I'm buying the 440s. This can go 1 to 5. I'm going to fucking do it. You don't do it, man, you're going to feel like shit, especially if it unfolds. If you take that shot and if it doesn't work, man, you're going to slowly build confidence because you're trusting yourself. And just trust that the journey will work out. Be blessed to take those shots. So that's my advice, family. CG, how do you deal with losses mentally? Great question. So 2 ways, guys, you want to deal with losses mentally. One starts with risk management, right? It should never surprise you what you're going to lose if you manage risk properly, right, guys? If I put 10 grand into a trade and I'm okay losing it and I lose it, if I'm like, what the fuck happened? Well, dude, I mean, you knew that, right? I was okay with that. We set the risk, team. So again, losses are just lessons. They're expenses, they're taxes to our trading business. The most important way, team, to deal with losses mentally is a complete shift in perspective, right? You have to change the mental. You have to change how you see these things. You are going to lose. You are going to lose the rest of your trading career. But guess what, baby? You're not losing shit. Change that mindset, family. Be thankful you're here. Be thankful you have money to take this setup. Be thankful you even know what the fuck you're doing, right? Be thankful you know how to click the button. Right, guys? That's the shift, right? I'm not afraid to lose. I don't give a shit. I'm doing my damn job, baby. And I am thankful, right? I am blessed to be able to trade Google. If I lose, fuck it. I'll be okay, man. I am so confident in myself, my journey, my team, my system that I will win the war. You might not win every battle, guys. Doesn't matter. Every great emperor, they lost a few, but guess what? They were fucking kings after the show ended, right? All said and done, we win. So really, guys, just change the mental frame you have on losses. You're not getting hurt, right? You're not getting punched in the face. You're not getting, stabbed in the chest. You're taking a little fucking electronic L. Chill out. Be thankful. Some people don't even have fucking clean water, right? As extreme as that is, guys, that's how you want to frame this, right? we're playing a game, baby. Embrace it, right? And again, that's the mental side of it. The other side is just risk management. Don't trade too much, guys. Don't trade an amount that's going to piss you off. If you're not okay losing $500, don't fucking invest $500 because then you lose it and you're going to mentally be butthurt. But if you were like, okay, I am completely okay, losing $1,000 this month, I'm going to be blessed and I'm going to take this setup. I'm going to be thankful I even have the money to lose and I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to trust myself. And then again, guys, they're not losses. They're lessons. Every trade you take is going to teach you something, win or lose. So shift that mindset and you'll be okay, right? A trade that lost, say thank you, man. Thank you. Market God. I learned something and it got me closer to that life-changing win. Right? On to the next, on to the next. Harder said than done, family, but it all starts with stepping back and just framing, what am I doing here? Right? It's all a mental game, family. So that's my advice on that, brother, is, how do you deal with them? You go into it the right way, right? Yeah, we've all taken losses and yeah, it stings, guys, right? Obviously, you're not going to just sit there and smile, even if you lose an amount you're okay with. But again, we're mental warriors. You need to protect your mental. This is a mental game. The more you let this shit fuck you up, team, you're not going to survive. So there's no reason to let it fuck you up. Because again, you're not getting hurt. If you're getting hurt, if you're putting on money that's, actually going to, I can't eat tonight, well, then that's a risk management problem. So those are really the two ways, guys, to, just control the mentality and, deal with all the hard shit in trading is that perspective you have on it. And then again, your risk management. You can only get hurt, team, if you put on too much. And you can only be hurt by the idea of it and the thought of it if you're, framing it that way. So really listen to that response again, guys, and truly break it down. Just be blessed to take these L's because they're lessons and keep pushing. How much information is too much information on screens? Great question, my friend. So leading back into that other question, guys, too much information leads to analysis paralysis. So really figure out what your focus should be, and then that's it, right? You don't want 9 names up on a screen, team. If you're watching 4 names, then put those 4 names up, put their time frames up, watch the market, watch the internals, only watch the shit that matters, right? We all know what matters. So if you have too much screen space, clean it up, baby. You need to know, the names you're following. You need to know the overall market. You need to know the internals, and then a few other key things. Other than that, guys, too much fluff. CG, identifying A+ plays over subpar. So, the best way, team, is really risk reward, right? And again, this goes back to planning your trades. What am I expecting? Every time I take a scalp, guys, I'm not expecting much, right? I'm expecting, 20, 30, 40, 50 cents, right? You could call that subpar. You could call that, it ain't going to change your life. Facebook the other day, we know, guys, it was going, 1 to fucking 8. Like that's A+. It had all the catalysts. The risk reward's huge. Right, guys, you can force to trade an Apple and make, 50 cents. What was the point of that? Unless you're putting a shit ton of money in, congrats, you made 50, $100. But really, you step back, team, you can make, $900 with $100 on the right setup. So identifying those A+ plays, team, is really going to come down to your playbook, right? What are your strongest setups? What are the catalysts that make it strong? And then really the cherry on top is that risk reward, right? When you're buying a contract, you look at Roku, you can buy something 5 points OTM and it goes in the money and you make, you make $1, right? You can buy it for $1, it goes to $2. Not the best risk reward. Where I can buy something on Google for $1 and it goes to $12, right? So one, I trust the setup, it's playbook, it's got catalysts, and the risk reward is good. Right, guys, there's so many little trades that unfold during the week that are just a waste of our time, a waste of our capital, commission, and mental capacity. Identify those A++, put your money towards it, and ignore all the little shit. Like we talked on Facebook on Friday, guys, it absolutely exploded. And then there was, some little ass dip buys. So you got to ask yourself, what am I expecting here? If I buy this dip, am I expecting it to turn around and fucking explode and break high a day and go up, 500%? Probably not. So to me, that's subpar. So again, guys, plan your trades, make sure they're A+, catalyst, risk reward, and then ignore everything else, right? You find yourself jumping into shit. Ask yourself real quick, what am I expecting here? Am I, fighting my ass off here to potentially make 20 cents a contract? If so, chill out. Save that risk. Wait. Patience gets rewarded. Great questions, Connor. CL, what do you do as part of your pre-market routine outside of market prep? For example, doing emotional inventory, meditation, visualization exercises. Do you have a schedule you follow for these things? Yes, sir. Absolutely. So as you guys know, you are part of my morning schedule. We wake up every morning and prep at 7 a.m. So before I get going with you, family, I wake up and I personally visualize. What do I visualize? I visualize myself trading at a great level, right? I visualize myself winning. We can talk more about visualization in another video, but you want to see it, guys, as you've already done it. So again, if you're dealing with getting in trades, close your eyes, guys, for 15 minutes. I really like deep breathing, right? Just getting in tune with yourself. Visualize executing properly, right? Visualize, watching one or two names, getting in when you should, sitting back while it's unfolding, accepting risk, right? Visualize whatever you want. Visualize yourself smiling at the setups. Visualize yourself taking a loss and being grateful, right? All those little things. So in the morning, guys, whether it's, again, this depends. I don't really have it scheduled too tight. I try to do it before we prep or I do it after we prep. So the few things I like to do, guys, are one, the visualization, and then just the deep breathing. The deep breathing for me is also a form of meditation where I just close my eyes, I do my deep breathing, and I get myself ready for war. Whatever it might be for you guys, go get some sunlight, go drink some water, go stretch. I do all these things. So, we're all a bit different, but we're all mental warriors here. So we got to do the things, that set us up for success. So great thing Chris mentioned right here is, emotional inventory. And for me, guys, this is part of, the morning routine. Another thing I do is I write my goals. I write affirmations. And you fucking talk to yourself, man. Be real with yourself. How do I feel today? Right? Did I get an argument with my spouse? Am I a little off? Am I tired? Do I have a headache? Does my back hurt? Do I feel fucking great? Am I expecting too much from today? Talk to yourself, team, right? It's a one-on-one battle and you got a whole team. So whatever your morning routine is, I recommend you get one, right? And let's start to let it become habit. So for me, guys, every morning I'm taking at least, 10 to 20 minutes to myself in my mind, eyes closed. Creation happens in the dark. So close your damn eyes and breathe, relax, lower that heart rate, right? Say some affirmations, be grateful, and then show up and fucking crush it. So push-ups, exercise, water, breathing, all those things, guys, that just truly benefit you overall are what I try to do before prep. And I recommend you all do the same. Check yourself, fucking stretch, get some water, say a prayer, visualize, and then get ready to slay it. Pendy, I will have those videos coming soon, brother. Let's see. Looks like last question here, family. A little quick Q&A. Denver, what are your thought process when you're in a trade and you're making profit? How do you keep holding, even when you see 1 to 3 down ticks? So again, this goes back to what's my plan, right? We need to detach ourselves, family, from P&L. I get it. You get in a trade and it starts to work. It's fucking awesome. You're up. You don't even want to see that thing go down $1. But here's the bad news. Every tick is not going to work in your favor right away. If you want it to work right away, you are going to have a very bad time in this game. So how do I handle that? And what's my thought process? My thought process is trust your fucking plan, Chan, right? Google. I got Google Friday. Here's a great example, Denver. And again, guys, what are you expecting? Are you expecting it to work right away? If it's a scalp and it doesn't work right away, I'm getting the fuck out. If I'm in profit, I'm ready to book it. But again, it all depends the plan. So good example here, guys, is Google, of how, one might get stopped out of Google. Google dipped and then we bought it. Look at all these little ticks, team. You know how easy it is to get stopped out? Went up 30%, went down 20%, went up 30%. That's only going to fuck you up if you're focusing on the wrong things, right? Depending the setup, which again, my setup wasn't a scalp. It was accept 0. So my thought process going into this was, did I get a good entry? Do I like my risk reward? Yes, I loved it. I bought the fuckers for 30 cents. So really, bro, all those ticks, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I just know if and when it breaks 1505 and 1509, it's going to do my move. So now I wait. As soon as it happens, boom, stick to the plan, right? We cannot get caught up in every tick, team, right? It's crazy. It's going to drive you insane if you watch every tick. So again, you don't want to get obsessed, family, with the profit. As soon as you see green, you don't want to book it because you're going to rob yourself. Right, guys, you can get an option and, spikes 20 cents. Yeah, you can lock it, but again, was that your plan? Are you in this trade for 20 cents and then it explodes up $7? Right? That's the difference, team. So the thought process that goes into, when you're in a trade and when you're making money is all going to stem back to what was the plan, right? If this is, a scalp and it starts to explode and I'm making, profit, then shit, I see a downtick, I'm taking that money. But for the most part, team, if it's a calculated, planned day trade, I don't give a shit about the little ticks. I watch the 1 minute chart, but again, I'm just trusting my plan. I'm trusting my process. I'm trusting my risk management, and I'm letting probability unfold. The hardest thing, guys, in a trade is that emotional control, but it's the most important. And again, how do you have that emotional control is just sticking to your damn plan, right? Fucking get a stress ball if you need. Sit here and squeeze it. If you're like, oh, I want to get out, this tick's red. No, stick to the plan. So that's my advice there, brother, is just plan the trade is, know what you're expecting going into it. Right, guys, Google could have rolled the fuck over. It could have kept going. I don't care. The plan was to get in, accept zero, and when it breaks, look to lock at 15.17. And that's exactly what happened. So again, guys, you're going to get confidence doing this, and you're going to really start to learn more about yourself. If you're sweating like a little bitch here, then you got to sit down and talk to yourself. And those are the things you need to visualize, right? Visualize relaxing. Visualize it going against you, right? Imagine you bought Google here, guys, and then it starts to go against you and you cut it and then it explodes. And you told yourself, oh, I was going to accept zero because I know if it works, it can go this high. Or you're going to get pissed off. So it all leads back to, hard work, preparation, and then trusting yourself, man. Trust the team. Know you'll be okay. All right, guys, if you're going to get obsessed with every tick, you're going to have a bad time. So step back a bit, look at the bigger picture time frames, remove the noise. And most importantly, I know this is repetitive as hell, but trust yourself, man. Trust the fucking plan. If you don't have a plan, don't touch it. Spend hours and hours and hours and hours building plans, guys, and then implementing those plans, and you will be an elite trader. So Denver, hope that helps, my friend. But yeah, that looks like that's about it, team. Let's see, we got a notification here. Rick, welcome, my dog. But yeah, guys, that's Q&A. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, throw any questions you ever have in here, and I'm more than happy to just continue recording these as the questions come through. We will be recording some other videos here in video ideas, right? We got some good ones, risk management, etc. If you want any detailed videos, family, throw the ideas in here and I'll be getting to them. But that concludes our Q&A. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I look forward to getting back to work tonight. Love you all.